Hey y'all, what's up? I hope everyone has had a great day. I'm feeling a little better for those that are wondering. I gotta catch up on I had to catch up on Raw, and I have to catch up on two episodes of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And I watched um what is it, Goat Talk with the Usos just now. And I'm binging out on sweets, which I should not do, but I do this like once every 2 weeks. So I got a sour pickle, sunflower seeds, and oat milk. Gotta be gone by this weekend. I got 3 bags of those, but that'll take me a couple weeks to eat all three. This, and if I'm real, still want something like a little salty craving, probably with my almonds. I get this because it's a good amount of butter, but it's not too much. But I'm about to sit there and watch and eat all of these things. But I was watching the Goat Talk. I was cracking up because it started out and they was asking who has the best entrance. So Jay gonna pick himself, right? Y'all, excuse me if I go between John and Jimmy. It's because I watch Total Divas. So, and just like when I go between Naomi and Trinity, because I watched Total Divas and I watched her on TNA. So, like, I'm used to both names. But like he was like him. So then it was like greatest rapper to go on the stage. So I started cracking up because I was like, I knew he was gonna say him again. I knew he was gonna say him again. Their celebrity crushes were kind of like surprising. I didn't think Jimmy was gonna say Beyonce. To be honest, I thought he was gonna say someone like maybe a Tyra or Lupita Nyong'o or like a Shakira for some reason. I don't know. But Rihanna, Carmen Electra did not surprise me for Jay. Oh, and when they said greatest wrestler turned actor, they picked The Rock. Like me personally, I would say, as soon as they asked the question, my brain said Dave Bautista. Like automatic. Like he's the only one to me that's shown like a range out of the three. You know what I'm saying? Like Rock has mainly only he's played some gang members, stuff like that. But he's like Gridiron Gang and stuff. But he mainly plays action. Like Batista's been in Glass Onion, which was really good. Guardians of the Galaxy, he's hilarious. He had that Thriller movie I haven't seen yet. He's been like a secret agent babysitter. Like to me, he has more variety. So I said him. And then like the Woke Talk, I was like crazy because it was like worst outfit, and they said their dad's outfit, then his dad's promo of he did it for The Rock. And I'm like, well, your wife is kind of doing the same thing with the Jade situation. So I don't know. The smell what The Rock is cooking is legitimate because you be like, you don't know what he's cooking. But I guess from like in today's terms, you be like, he about to cook you. You know how they be like, oh, I'm about to fry you, I'm about to cook you. Well, depending on where you from. But I gotta watch today because I was like, oh my God, tomorrow's Friday, even though my brain keeps thinking that today is Friday. And it's WrestleMania this weekend along with Easter weekend. And because I did not go to Vegas, even though I wanted to, my weekend here is crazy. Okay. So I'm doing production for our church play. We have production rehearsal. I have production rehearsal all Saturday. Then you have to get there early Sunday morning. Then Saturday after production rehearsal, my son has an Easter egg situation. Then he has a birthday party situation at paintball with one of my neighbors. And then he has another Easter egg situation with the lady that used to watch him at her church. Then we're going to try to come back for WrestleMania. So I won't even get to see Stand and Deliver probably until Tuesday. Okay. So then I come home and go to bed. Then go to church. Okay. Then get up and go to church. Do the production for the play at church. After that, go straight to Greensboro, where his other side of his family is. They do an annual cookout, Easter egg hunt in his uncle's backyard, all of that. And then come back, try to watch WrestleMania. Stay up, okay? Because here they don't have Easter Monday off. Like, even when I was growing up in Northern Virginia, the only people that had Easter Monday off was DC because they had the Easter egg hunt in White House. Like, Northern Virginia, which is 10 minutes away, and Maryland, which is 10 minutes away, had to go to school. So like some of my cousins would go have off, but like me and some of my other cousins had to go to school. So then I gotta try to muster up strength Monday morning. Okay? Because I don't do the countdown too. Because I already know what happened all the way up until WrestleMania. Like, I don't need to see the interviews. I watch the blogs on TV, like the Jay Uso vlog just was on here. I watched it. I don't need to see what led up to WrestleMania. Now, some things I might have forgot, one or two things, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I do like seeing the press conferences because they be hilarious. Especially every time Cody and Jay are up there and CM Punk, I was like, he is me and I am him. Because um I'm gonna get me a snack or something too. I need something sweet, as you can see. And then I have a real bad sweet tooth. And more so sour and fruity candy. Like the chocolate is like, but after this, I'll be good for like 2-3 weeks and then I won't crave it and then I'll binge again. So it's not like an everyday thing. But yeah, so then that's gonna end probably at 1. I have to get up, get my son ready for school, and then he has a field trip Monday. And now I'm supposed to chaperone. Okay? Then I gotta come home, right? Try to catch a nap. Okay? Thank God I don't work this weekend. Because I do events. We work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, Wednesday. But thank God. Take a nap. Watch Raw. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook as soon as I get home. Take a nap, watch Raw. And then go to bed. If I don't fall asleep during the review, and then get up tomorrow, and then both of us have dentist appointments on Tuesday. Thank God his basketball and soccer season is over as well. Sorry y'all for ranting. But I'm like, oh my God. Like this weekend just being here. Like being there, it would have been like if I would have came in today, it would have been come in, chill. We would have went to by the pool tonight. We probably would have went to, because I didn't buy tickets to Wale Mania. It would have been me, him, and my 18-year-old niece. I would have probably went to Fremont so he could do the zip line thing. We would have chilled out. You know what I'm saying? Friday, we would have probably went to a show. I think GCW is doing a show on Friday. I know I think it's doing a show tonight or Friday. No, I think it's tonight. And I think MLW or GCW is doing one tonight. It's Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I would have did that. I would have we would have went to the indoor music park at the Circus Hotel, I think. Chilled again Friday, watched it from the house. Because that was the plan. Saturday, like the only day I planned on going was Sunday too. Because at the time I was like, oh, the tickets might be cheaper, but they end up being the same price. So now I know, because everything is so daggone expensive, that if I want to be in the festivities of WrestleMania, even if I don't get a WWE ticket, that there are so many other independent shows that I could go to and be a part of. So next year for New Orleans, hopefully we'll get that together. If they ever do the thing for Orlando again, which I think was the best and the most creative entrance because of Universal stuff. Now, since they got the Epic Center, I'm definitely going there. Like, I used to live in Winter Springs and Castleberry. My mom stays in Florida. Moved back to Florida 3 years ago. She stays near Davenport. Like, I would clearly drive. Okay? Like, I'm waiting for y'all to do Charlotte. Okay? Waiting for Charlotte. DC's too cold. I'm about to say I did Philly, but Philly was cold as hell. DC feels good this weekend, but like if y'all would have did it last year around the same time that Philly came out, no, it'd have been cold as hell. And Commanders, my brain froze because I want to say Redskins. Commanders don't have a dome. Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina, the weather's bipolar, but it's normally always warm around Easter. And if it's not freezing cold. It's like you might need a jacket. It might be a little breeze, but you good. Like, I'm waiting for y'all to come to Charlotte because I think the venue for the Panthers is larger. I know it's probably larger than the Eagles one, I think. And it's probably larger or the same as LA Knight. What time is it? They should be coming in soon. And then that might be their bus. So we'll see. But as far as Monday Night Raw, the recap, you ate all 3 pieces of chicken? I ate 2. As far as the Raw, so it first started out with, okay, so I said I was going to get into Raw, but I changed my mind. So I watched the blog, Jay Uso. And I will say, I noticed that him and Braun Breaker are workout partners. They both look good standing next to each other. Okay. Talking about that they workout partners. Second of all, I think last week I noticed that big tattoo on his neck. I didn't think he was going to get the tattoo on his neck because Jimmy got it and he got the legs. But then he said his ball, he got Proverbs 17:17 on there. So is it Proverbs 17:17? And then they got like the Samoan drawings and stuff like that around it. Like they might do that. Also, that room he got is big as hell. Okay. And I got friends that stay in Vegas. I know it, and I've been to Vegas. I know where it's at. I'm not gonna say it because people are weird. And I'm not going. I'm not like stalkerish or nothing like that. Like I wouldn't even stay there. Like I said, I think I was staying at the Virgin Hotel, like off the strip. It was like 2 miles from the stadium that I could walk to if I needed to. Like I could, if I would have left because of all the traffic of people. If I would have, like my son and I would have went to WrestleMania, we probably would have had to walk 40 minutes early to get there to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like close enough where we could get to an area and be a part of some stuff, but far enough where not super packed on the strip. Also, I'm kind of sad his baby not gonna be there. Like, I'm like, now, last year they did the vlog. You know what I'm saying? He had like a joint room, him and his son. This year he got a whole freaking suite, and the baby not gonna be there. And I'm like, see, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because I was like, if it was me, and I was like his wife, and I wanted to be there for like that whole situation, I don't know. She might surprise him, but I know he gonna be there like in and out because he's one of the top people in the company right now, and he is loved. And I know his line for like to pay to see him is out of control. But me and the kids would have flew. Like the son, I know the one son in college. I would have called him and asked him, "Hey, you got any finals you got to study for? Any tests this week? Do you have any class online? Do you want to come to Vegas see your dad?" Like me and my son would have been there, popped up on him. Okay, even if it's not the whole week. Like today is Thursday, my son ain't go to school. And if I would have known Wednesday night we wasn't coming to school, like him not going was not on purpose. So like, if anything, like I would have flew in Wednesday night, got there, would have been there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and would have flew back Sunday because he got school on Monday. But like he would have missed LJ, my son would have missed 2 days. But I'm kind of sad because I'm like, now because of last year and because he's also been like with him in Atlanta. I think he's been with him in Columbia or Charleston or something like that. And then he was with him, I think when he was all the way in New York. And I was like, wow. I was like, I'm so used to his baby being there. Like stateside PLEs, if he ain't got school or whatever, that I thought he was going to be there. But, you know, life happens. Schedules get crazy. Some kids I know had spring break last week or 2 weeks ago, like my child. And then some kids got spring break this week because their spring break always coincides with Easter. Like my aunt and them who works in DC public schools. So it is what it is. Well, hopefully he can come to like Backlash or SummerSlam or something like that. Because I know he mentioned in previous interviews that his son wanted to be a tag team like Dom and Rey Mysterio. And so he loves the business. So what is that? 4th generation, right? It's his uncles, which is Rikishi's uncles. So that'd be him and his brother's great uncles. Then it'd be his dad. So that'd be 2nd generation. Him is 3rd as far as his bloodline. And then his son would be 4th for his branch, because Rock's branch, Simone is the 4th generation. I think she's the first 4th generation to do it. But yeah, that tree keeps getting bigger and bigger as far as they gonna take over. They already taking over WWE, but I mean like physically take over. If they didn't sell the company to TKO, I could definitely see someone in that family buying it And low key, if Rock stay on the board, he probably could. Just saying. Yeah, so I lied, okay? The past 48 hours, I got maybe 7 hours of sleep. My son put a wrench. He didn't put a wrench. There was a wrench in our plans because he caught a migraine last night, which are random. And he throws up. So he went straight to sleep. We went to a birthday party. We went to a birthday party. We last night skating, his migraine came on. You know, it was Good Friday, so they was outside riding the bikes, all the things. And we left like an hour after, not even an hour after we got there. And his migraines are triggered by heat and lack of hydration. So he could be out in heat as long as he stay hydrated. If he doesn't eat every 5-6 hours, or if he doesn't get enough sleep. And I told him that morning that he needed to take a nap, like at 3, because we both slept for like 3 hours. We were just up late. Like he was on his game. I was down here catching up on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, like certain podcasts and stuff. Thought I was going to fall asleep before I did, because if I knew I was going to stay up that long, I would have watched Raw, but I didn't watch Raw. So we were supposed to do 2 Easter egg hunts today, and I was supposed to go to production rehearsal for the play. He was still feeling bad. I gave him medicine. He went to sleep. I went to production rehearsal for 2 hours because he sleep, and I have to go. And just came back. So I watched, and you know what's so funny is I watched, and I'm wearing this because y'all know I said Jimmy's my guy, and he's not going to be, that I know of. He's probably going to be in the back, but he's not going to be out. So, and you know what I was thinking too? Because I'm kind of turning this into an all compilation type video. Remember when Rock went like this, right? Then after he got Cody, he went like this, right? Part of me thought his beef with Cody was going to continue. So that goes down to 2. But then the other part of me thought, well, you and Roman had an alliance. So that's why you went to 2. Because then I was like, well, maybe he won't get Seth. Because I was like, the 3 people he's going to get is Roman, Cody, and Seth. And then I was like, maybe he won't get Seth. But if it's just based off of last year's WrestleMania, he's definitely getting Seth. And then he's going to get Roman because of the bad blood situation with him and Cody teaming up. Or he can get Solo for dropping the ball and letting Roman become the tribal chief again. Okay, that's a whole side note. Okay, so then I was like, I took a nap at 9:30. I didn't even catch all of Smackdown. Woke up. I had recorded it though. Found out my thing ain't record right because I was watching TV on there. My TV, and then was trying to watch it on my laptop. My laptop was acting weird. Woke up at 11 so I could turn off the recording. Was like thinking, because I didn't read it right, that we were going to start Hall of Fame right after. Because, you know, in the past, they'll stay in the arena and just redo the carpet and start the Hall of Fame over. Right? That thing said 10 p.m. Pacific time. I thought it said 10 p.m. Central time. So I'm like, okay, it's starting right after. 10 p.m. Pacific time mean 1 a.m. Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast. Okay? Was like, I'm not about to watch this. Right? Doze off for like 10 minutes. My son wakes up because he's been asleep for 6 hours at this point. We come back from skating rink. He's been asleep for 6 hours with his migraine. Took all that. Woke up because every time he gets a migraine, has had a migraine, he throws up. Threw up. I had to go to the bathroom. Came in my room. Was up. No, well, actually, he was up watching YouTube for like 4 hours. And I always stay up while he's up, just in case he throws up or coughs or chokes or whatever. So went to was watching. So he dozed back off at like 3 after he threw up. I'm up now. I don't watch the whole. I was like, I'm gonna catch the Hall of Fame tomorrow. Watch the whole thing. You get me? First of all, I thought Michelle McCool's speech was gonna be the longest because it took her a while. I was proven wrong. Did not know she was a teacher prior to, and she's not that much older than me. Hold on, wait. I think she was born in the 80s, 1980. So she's a little bit older than me, but not like older than. And Kelly is my age, which is surprising to me. So she was in the business young. But people like, why not let Cool induct her? And I was like, well, if she requested her husband, that's who she requested. Like, yeah, they were a tag team. But her husband has been with her since she had mentioned the kidney issues and her being in the hospital and whatever. And he's an OG. Like, he's a legend. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Because the only thing outside of, I feel like, the speech that Michelle could have gave, and what Undertaker said was short and sweet, and he got choked up. It was cute. But I think Michelle's would have been like how they work together and maybe some like backroom, locker room stories and stuff like that. But we don't, like, for me personally, especially if it's late, I don't really care to know that. Like, start a podcast and give us that, or be on the podcast and tell us that. Like, I just want your thank yous and all that other stuff, and maybe 1 or 2 stories and stuff like that. Natural disaster I never heard of. They said they were a tag team in 1993. I was 6 or 5, depending on the year, because I'm born in September. I didn't start watching WWE until, I think my first glimpse of it was 94, 95. Whenever The Rock debuted and they start booing him. Okay? When he's part of APA. Not APA, sorry. Nation of Domination. That's when I started watching. And then I stopped. Because, you know, a kid, you think just people are evil. Just like when you at your grandma's house and you watch these soap operas and everybody can't stand. Can't think of her first name, Lord. Stacy, is it her first name, Stacy? Lucci. Because, and she never won an Emmy all them 29 times she was nominated until recent. But everybody thought she was evil. Like, that's how the characters of WWE is. WWE is basically like a soap opera and people fight. Okay. So I started back watching, and then everybody was cheering for him. And that's when the Attitude Era stuff so happened to come. So, like, I don't remember. I remember 1, 2, 3 Kid, and I remember Shawn Michaels, and I remember the Hearts and stuff like that. But I don't remember Triple H in that French gear get up looking like Beast or Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Like, I don't remember that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't remember natural disasters. I love the fact that they had Bronson on there and they said that's where he got hit tsunami from. One of them was named earthquake, one was named hurricane. Quake had passed away. His sons and his wives and stuff was up there. Kane was, like, he was talking about it. He was like, how he looked cute and stuff like that. And I thought it was cute and endearing. And I know he was sad because she got choked up. I like Lex Luthor's speech. I love the fact that he said after all of this, like, God granted him mercy to get ordained and change his life around and stuff like that. Because when he first got inducted and they showed Cody, like, what's the name of him in on the DDP's house, I was like, wow. Because I remember him for some reason. I remember him being big and all this other stuff. And people were talking about Sting should have inducted him and stuff like that. And why not DDP? And honestly, I feel like even if he was given a choice, because DDP is helping him, like, with his mobility and stuff like that, I think he still would have picked him. So, yeah. So, like, I don't know. It was a good speech. I love the fact that he told his mom that he finally made it and she's in heaven. He was like, when I get there, we'll celebrate together. But to me, when people say stuff like that, it sounds like ominous to me.
if that's how you say the word. It sounds all because I'm a woman of faith, right? And I know where I die, I'm going to heaven. Like, I know that. But like, if my pop has passed, and he's very, very dear to me, very, very dear to me. Like, I still grieve him. Sometimes I'll randomly cry and stuff like that. Like, very close people have, you know what I'm saying? You just miss their presence. And if you don't have recordings of them, the worst thing about them missing is you don't remember what their voice sounds like. Like, you remember what they said, but you don't. So, like, if I told him, I was like, if I would have made it to the NBA, WNBA, like I wanted to, and I would have, I didn't make it because I never played basketball in college. It wasn't because I wasn't good. I just didn't play. But my son is a basketball MVP in every team he plays, so that should tell you something. And half the time I'm training him year round. So I just don't, I don't know. Like, I probably wouldn't say, like, Pop, I made it to the WNBA when I get to heaven, we're going to celebrate. Like, to me, I feel like people that know when they're about to pass or near the end of their life, they say that. Because everyone says that people know when they're about to leave Earth. Like, and it's crazy that they know that their time is coming. That you know that your time is coming. Then there was someone else that got inducted. A couple other people. The match got inducted with Bret and Stone Cold. I love Stone Cold. First of all, Natalya had Bret's whole. I love that Natalya shouted out the women's division, and she was like, because of her, they had the first ever women's table match. And ironically, I was in and out of WWE at that time. I wasn't really watching consistently. I watched like once every couple months. I remember that match. Like, I watched that in real time. So it's like, it's so crazy when you watch or listen to certain people. And I'm like, wow. Because I was like, when I was younger, like, when she shouted all these people out, and she was like, we were the start of the evolution. Like, we started it. Trish was the first woman to main event Monday Night Raw. Lita was the first person that I saw on TV that I was like, oh, women could be flyers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a thing. Like, when I was younger, the women's division with everything, and then to see people with like color like me. Like, I put in a tweet last night, like Chyna, Jacqueline, Jazz, Ivory, Lita, and Sable, I would say. Like, to me, and that should tell you what time period, like, I was really into it, where everything. Like, Trish was cool, but I wasn't like a super fan of her. Molly Holly was cute. But like, them right there, to me, was like core women's WWE. And before all of them came around, like before I saw Jacqueline, I saw Chyna. And I was like, who is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I saw Jacqueline, I said, oh, we got a black strong girl. You know what I'm saying? And then Jazz came and had a whole different style. And Ivory came being authoritative, but yet could still wrestle. You know what I'm saying? And then when we saw the Hardys, saw Lita with her, like, I never in my life, never seen anything. And I was like, wow. You know? So it's just nice to know that the women, like when they said that we had our first table match with them and Natalya, I was like, Natalya been a part of a lot of firsts. Also, shout out to Natalya, because I've seen the GCW like Bloodsport situation. I know she was in a match. I know, I want to say Kevin, because he put his real name on Twitter. Carrion was in a match. Normally Shayna was in one last year. I don't know if she was in the one this year. But like, people were saying how such good of a technical wrestler she is. And somebody was like, she doesn't have the title workhorse for nothing. They was like, they need to put her on TV. And I was like, the difference is when Natalya be on these matches now, it's they're shorter. And Natalya's an awesome wrestler. And this is my personal opinion. But she's not as good on the mic as others. So I feel like that's why she doesn't have as TV time, because I feel like in the situation that WWE is going in right now, I would say it's 50-50. Sometimes it might be 70-30. Like storyline 70 wrestle, but it's 50-50. And I feel like I mentioned before, you have to, like, everyone can wrestle. We know that. You wouldn't have got a call if you didn't. But can you hit a promo? Even if you don't do promos and you in the background while someone else is talking, can you give off body language and facial expressions that express, you know what I'm saying? Like how you feel or stuff like that. So it's like people's like, and I remember on Busted Radio, Kevin Nash was like top 5 wrestlers, and Natalya, he was like Natalya easily. And somebody said she would break off 98% of them. And I say, I have no doubt. Like I was like, she is phenomenal. And I had said that last year at the Hall of Fame, because that's when I first started looking at stuff from the dungeon, and her and her husband training people, and people would like always wonder like how far he would have went if he wouldn't have got injured. But I'm like, just based off of how they help people train, you know how good you have to be to help train someone to be equally as good or better than you. That says a lot about how she is. Like, and I saw that on Total Divas. Like when Lana had came to her house and she was like, can you show me this move? And she just picked Lana up in the garage. And I was like, wait a minute, nigga. Like, like, what are we doing? And then show her and then put her back down. I'm like, wow. Okay. She helped train Nikki before her, she came to Royal Rumble, and I saw them in the audience, Nikki and Brie Bella. The only thing I would say though, before I get to Triple H, is WWE tried it. I know Vegas is a whole thing, and we want to make it grand because Triple H is getting inducted and other things and stuff like that. But I kind of low-key feel like that was selfish, because if NXT and WWE superstars have to be there to start at 10 p.m., some people's bodies haven't even got adjusted to the time if they don't live on the West Coast. Like if you live on the East Coast, and I've been there 3 days. Like when I went to Vegas 4 years ago, we were there on a 4-day trip, my sister and I, for her birthday. It took the 4 days for us to get adjusted to Pacific time because of 3 hours behind. The last day we got adjusted, but it was time to go. So I'm like, with all the press and stuff, especially if you're real popular, meet and greets of the fans, stuff like that, these people probably been up since 5 a.m. I'm saying Eastern time, which is 8 a.m. their time there. And then you're up till, so the thing went to about 4:30 a.m. here, 1 a.m. there. So, and that's if your body got acclimated. So now you up almost 24 hours, and then you got to do it again tomorrow for WrestleMania. And then the people that got stand and deliver, God help them, because that thing started at 11 my time, I think, or 11 Pacific time. Was 11 Pacific time 2 p.m. here? So then I'm like, if it was me and I had to go, first of all, I would have been just like Jay or Montez or something like that. I'm wearing shades because I'm be sleep like this. And if I'm gonna tell whoever's next to me, if you hear me snoring, nudge me. Okay? Like, I'm gonna be knocked out. Second of all, after this whole thing is off, taking off my shoes, let's go to the room. I'm not even taking off the dress. Like, taking off my shoes at the door. Take off my earrings if I got it, jewelry. If I got a dress, I'm gonna make sure it's flowy. If it's super tight, I'm gonna hike it up because I like it. I might spray my legs while I'm asleep. And I'm gonna be knocked out, and I'm gonna set my alarm an hour and a half before so I could get up, take a shower, wash it, wash makeup, all that stuff, put on new clothes, eat something, and head to where I need to head to. Cause I'm like, that's crazy. Like, and I know that's part of your job, but that's still like a borderline a little selfish. Cause I'm like, I know y'all want to do this for us, but to be honest with you, And I know TNA had that thing on Thursday. I don't know if it was in Vegas. Hall of Fame should be on Thursday. The Hall of Fame should be on a Thursday. And I know we have Wale Mania. And we have like WrestleMania After Dark, which I think they just started this year. Hall of Fame should be on Thursday. Or and I know some people do it on Friday sometimes because, you know, a lot of people could get off work. Like if they're family or if they're working and transition into a regular life or whatever. But I feel like in order for the superstars to get sleep, in the meet and greet at 6. So if you do press at 6 a.m., right? And you have to do the meet and greet start say like 10 a.m. And you're there from 10 to 6 with like an hour in between. So 10 to 6 is 8 hours. So from 2 to 3, they tell them they're gonna have a break. If the superstar needs an hour, give them an hour. Give everyone an hour. So that way they can eat and sit down and cool off and whatever from 2 to 3. If the superstar finishes eating or whatever 15, 20 minutes and wants to keep going, let them keep going. But they still get the hour. It's an option. You can use that the whole hour or you use less than an hour. Then at 6, in the meet and greet, okay? And we know people like to stay after to meet everyone in line like Cody and all these other stuff. If you know, I know they want to get as much money as they can. And this was the problem, I think, at WrestleMania last year because all these people bought tickets and things were sold out. And everybody didn't get to meet everybody. And I said, somebody be getting my money back. And I'd be pissed. I want my money back. And so I better get a picture with somebody. I'm leaving here with something. Okay? But like, take the last person. Okay? So like if they have Raw on Monday, go to Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they have meet and greet. Right? Okay? Or we could do Thursday, Friday, meet and greets. Give them 2 days. So first come, first serve. If that's it, that's it. In at 6. Have the Hall of Fame thing start at 8. So that way they take the last person at 5:30. They're able to get all their stuff. So by the time they talk to them, something like that, it should be done by 5:40. Get all this stuff, get to the hotel 6 o'clock, eat, whatever. Get glammed up, take a shower, whatever. Hall of Fame, be there because the Hall of Fame starts at 8. And then it'll give them, if you need to go to 11:30, then it's not super late. And I'm talking about 8 o'clock wherever they are. You know what I'm saying? Then the next day, okay, Friday night, Smackdown night. Meet and greet, bump all that, not unless you need to be there for production to do something with your interest or whatever. Say like, okay, so it's gonna be in New Orleans. What are they? Mountain Time or Central Time? Meet and greet, I don't know what time they are. Are they Mountain Time or they Central Time? They're Central Time, right? So that means stuff starts here at 8, it'll start there at 7. So that means Hall of Fame there will be 7 to 10:30. Meet and greet will be 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Because people come from all over the world, WrestleMania. So 9 times out of 10 they took off. Okay. Then the next day. So if New Orleans is Central Time, and I think they're Central Time, Smackdown will start at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, right? For 3 hours. Have another meet and greet, right? So now they're getting out of the Hall of Fame by 10:30. They are so they have media Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay? Whatever they do after the Hall of Fame is on them. But at least you got 8 hours to sleep. 10:30, right? Next day, Friday, another meet and greet from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right? 9 a.m. to 5. The last person gets cut off at 4:30. They go from there straight to Smackdown. Catering, get your life together. You got 2 hours. Get your gear, relax, loosen up, whatever. Smackdown starts. So Central Time from 7 to 10. Right? Now, if they need to do press before WrestleMania morning before they get ready for their match, or now if they need to be there early to make sure the entrance is right, to make sure their clothes fit, get their workout in, whatever they need to do Saturday, then they will be rested and not exhausted. And God bless them, because if this is what they endure, just last night, and I'm just thinking of someone that's been up the past 3 days with 7 hours of sleep, and then they give us a full-on performance, they deserve all the money in the world that they're getting in this. Okay, 1,000%. Because one thing about me is 2 things about me. First of all, couple things about me. I pay for experiences. If I spend my money, I expect to, you know what I'm saying? Overall, I have a good time. It might be some stuff for certain shows, and every show I might not like, but you know, nobody has something that you'll like everything of. That's just, you know, the world. Second of all, okay, I am not a morning person. So for me to not have no sleep and then have to get up and then talk to people and stuff, no, not doing that. And I don't drink coffee. I drink tea. Okay? That's okay, right? And then what was the other thing? I forgot. Oh, I pay for experience out there. And things I value most, one of the things I value the most is sleep. Like, I've started listening to my body, and my body is exhausted. I don't care if I'm anticipating going to the Beyonce concert. If my body's exhausted or I feel like I'm getting sick or whatever, I'm not going. I don't want to put other people at risk. I'm not selfish like that. And I know if I'm really, really exhausted, I won't be able to thoroughly enjoy myself. So that's why I say kudos to them. Okay, so then we get to Triple H's thing. I think his speech was an hour. I think his speech was an hour long. Okay. First, Shawn Michaels comes out. He always talks about how Triple H doesn't give up on him, stuff like that. He gets choked up every time. He said one time in my life when I wasn't pleasant, people are laughing, but there are various stories where he was a jackass. So he was phenomenal in the ring, but he was you know what I'm saying? And then he joked with Stephanie how they only kissed that one time on camera. And I know you question our relationship. He was like, my wife questioned our relationship too. And I said, that is a definition of a true bromance. Like an old school masculine bromance. Like when you be sitting there like, okay, for those who watch Big Bang Theory to an extent, it's kind of like Raj and that's how I know I'm exhausted, because I watched, this is one of my favorite shows and I binge watch it every year. I just got done binge watching it. Howie. It's like theirs. Like sometimes you question, are they together? But they not together? Or like because of how close they are. Like it was like that. So he comes out, and then when they show his parents, he said he gets it from his mom. She started laughing. Kudos to them for celebrating 61 years of marriage. I looked beside, I said, their genes are strong, because I said, if that's his sister, they look just alike. So it was his sister. It's his older sister. I thought she was younger. She looks phenomenal. He showed his niece and nephew. I was like, his nephew favored him. Then his daughter's beside him, his mom-in-law. Gave kudos to Linda. Talked about his the people that he thanked, everybody that he works with. Thanked like Undertaker. He was like, he remembered Undertaker's advice. It was like, if you want her, go get her. That's what everyone else says. Basically, said that Stunning Steve Austin gave him some great advice. Him and Mick Foley. And because Stone Cold was on there when he lightened the mode, and everybody loved when his music came out, and Montez was doing this and stuff, and he was like, I'm gonna have a beer, and they showed a video of CM Punk like dapping up Pat and slowly walking away, and people were laughing, but I understood it. I was like, it's not that he walked away. I was like, it's how he backed up like this, like Simpson in the hedges. And then he said, he was talking about how he put on a great match and he would do it countless times, and how they broke a barrier doing that and stuff like that. And then Triple H had talked about how Stone Cold give it to him straight. And I said, I already said from the beginning, and I said this when he got inducted, because I was like, I don't have a Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. I have my space top 8, and the single stars, I think, and the tag teams, I think, are even not even in the same category. But like for my top 2, it's definitely Triple H and Mick Foley. Like, I like The Rock, love Stone Cold. They're in my top 8, but they're not my top 2. So like, I was like, if this man start crying or tearing up, I'ma start tearing up. He started tearing up, talking about his estrogen. He needs to get his estrogen check. Talked about his baby girls. The one next to Steph looks just like her. The one in the middle looks like both of them. She has his nose and his wife's eyes. And that's the one I think he's talking about on Logan Paul's podcast, when he said that she was learning to drive, like God help him. And then the youngest one, the baby girl, looks just like him. And I said, and I was like, you could tell that that's his baby girl, because I was like, she was like, I love you, and start crying and all that. And he was talking about his health, and then he was talking about his sister had endured the same thing. And I was like, I wonder if they probably got heart problems in their family. But I didn't know it was like that fatal. Like, because I always wondered why he retired. I didn't know it was a cardiac thing. So like, for him to, he said you supposed to have 50 or 60 something. He was like, he was on like in the single digits, and I said, oh my God, like, oh my God. And I said, it's so funny because CM Punk was like, when he couldn't stand Triple H, he made that promo and was like, when Vince leaves, his daughter and his son-in-law go take over the company. And I was like, ironically, they did. And I was like, and they didn't have to, because there's a lot of people out here that started multi-million and billion-dollar businesses, and their offspring gets a paycheck because they're majority owners, but they don't run nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like, for him to be hands-on, I love, and I've mentioned this before, I love when people that started from the bottom become part of the executive and decision-making team, because you see something different than someone who just comes and goes straight to the corporate. You know what I'm saying? And I say that a lot because I worked in food, and it's been a lot of times where we would have certain decisions as a manager, and then like, and I worked up from like part-time in college to being a manager, and our corporate would come in and ask us why certain stuff isn't working, and then like our district manager and corporate had came in for a couple of days to help out, and then when they left and came back, like certain rules will change, and I'm like, because y'all are making rules based off of what sounds good, y'all don't know what goes down here. Like someone like Triple H, basically all the DX that's working, they've been through it, so they know. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm loving about this new age. Them, homeboy that was with American Alpha with Chad Gable, Sean Hurricane or Shane Helm, sorry. Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, my guy. Like all of them. I think Tamina. I think Tamina. I think she was working backstage at WrestleMania last year. I don't know if she was working or she was just there to give everyone their liaise. Yeah. So I love the fact that he mentioned Nick Khan last. He said he doesn't like the spotlight and stuff like that. I love the fact that he mentioned what stuff he took from everyone. And I love the fact that he mentioned the clique and how every person had their position. And it showed him. Like he was like, Sean made anything look great. Like Scott made things sound simple, and Kev's things, like his mind was so intricate. And he was like, Kid was the measuring stick. And I'm sitting there reflecting on watching wrestling, and I was like, and he was like, at one point in time, they put everybody in the ring with him, and if you couldn't come out with a good match with him, you was out. And I sat there and thought, I was like, is that why this man was with like huge guys and then have like small guy matches? I was like, that's why. And I was sitting there like, they sure did. And I said, in today's time, me in my opinion, and he said it even on Chris Lee's podcast, it'll be for the men, it'll be Seth Rollins, and for the women it's Charlotte Flair. If you can't make a match look good with them two, this ain't your business. Okay? They make anybody look good in the ring. Even if you slip up and mess up, they make you look good in the ring. Like, even like when B-Fab had that match with Charlotte, and she was a little slow on her couple of her steps, Charlotte was there to like move up and move faster to help her. And it was still, an audience ain't really paid no attention to that, and it still made it, like, she did a great job, but like it still made it a real good match. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's what, like, he, and then once he had mentioned his wife, I don't know why, but like the tears start falling, because it's been a couple times I teared up, my eyes started welling, but then when he said that, it stopped. I was like, oh my God, here it comes. They started, and then they showed like when he came back in 2002, and I said, I seen that in real time. Like the way I was so happy and screamed and stuff, like you know. I was like, so then he said one word, forever. And he was like, you was with me when I didn't know I was gonna have a job, and you only gonna have a job, and stuff like that. And people think this is a glamorous life and stuff like that because they're seen on TV for 15 minutes. But just like Usos and other people said, like, after we do that, he's like, that's the fun part. He was like, we're on the road 3-4 hours, and this is like even 2 years ago when he was working more. He's like, we're going to the next show and stuff like that. And then he was like, and you could get cut anytime, because basically they're contractors. Just like when people that make a movie, if they don't have a agent that's steady getting them work, they have a job probably like the one guy that used to be on the Huxtables, and he was bagging groceries at Whole Foods. Like, it seems glitz and glamorous, but having a 9-to-5 technically is more consistent. Like, you have to bet on yourself. So to be with someone that genuinely loves you and was there with you while you were betting on yourself and knows the business, so they give you more grace, like, that is a blessing. And that's why I feel like a lot of wrestlers end up with other wrestlers or people in entertainment. And I know this, like I said, my ex is a musician, so like I understand the entertainment space. But I was laughing because on Twitter, I think Sam had asked Steph, like, how, like, your mind, like, were you attracted to his mind and stuff like that? She was like, oh yeah. And she said, when I got with him, I couldn't get my hands off him. I said That's just like the Twitter thing with Jade, and they was showing her, like, they was showing Naomi, was like, you niggas better proceed with caution. Like, she was cussing me. And I was like, she sounds such like an auntie. We're at auntie age. But I was like, she's eating these up. So, when she had said that, because I was like, her ass is like, her thing is thinging. Between her and Belly, when Belly got a picture with Lyra, I was like, oh my God, like, cheats. Both of them got cheats. Things are thinking. Okay. So, she said, she was like, you get fillers, you get booty shots, whatever. And she said, the only shots I get from is Big Jim. I said, y'all is out of control. Like, y'all are out of control. Okay? Like, what are we doing? Y'all are out of control. Ooh. So, Lord. So, then he talked about, still from the Hall of Fame night. He talked about, he wanted to thank another person. He said Vince, and then they showed Stephanie and her mom and stuff like that. And she said, it's complicated. He said, because of everything going on. He said, that's still my wife's dad, and that's still my kid's grandfather. He was like, it's complicated. He was like, but I will say thank you for allowing me to, like, for hiring me to be in this business. He shouted out William Regal too, some other people. But he was like, it's complicated. He was like, I don't want to say too much. He said, I will say I love you. Like, I respect you, basically. He respect him for giving him a head start. He respect him what he's done for the world of entertainment. But that's where he left it. And I appreciated that so much because he didn't have to say anything at all. Okay? 1. 2, right? I was like, most people will get on there and lie. Everything's all good in our family. Oh, he's just going through something. We're still keeping him in our prayers and we love him. And the stuff could be public knowledge. He gave him his flowers. And that was it. He was respectable about it. And I know him and his wife, and I said this, I think, in a video last year, a couple of videos. Him and his wife have had discussions before. He's helped her, like, grieve emotions and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why she stepped away from the business, because they had him step down and then he came back and then she left. I think that's the main reason. But, like, she was saying all that, and that's what it was. And that's what I said at a press conference at a PLE last year, I think, or 2 years ago. And I was like, y'all asking him questions, fresh questions about stuff that happened with Vince. He probably hasn't processed it. And I was like, even if he wants to say something, that people be like, you got a pocket for that. Like, why'd you say that? That was his boss. That's still his father-in-law at the end of the day. Like, whether y'all love this man or hate this man. I was like, so he's not going to say nothing too crazy out of respect for his wife. And that's exactly what happened. Because, you know, niggas will get on. And when I say use that word, it's not just black people for the racist people. The word originally means ignorant. A person of ignorance. And you can be ignorant about anything. Okay? And that's why a lot of times I'll be like, I might mean this, but I'm probably wrong. Because I'm very much ignorant on certain matters. And I was like, because, you know, people will say stuff and they'll ask him stuff and he'll say something and then they'll go and twist it like other people ain't say that, and it'll be all on, it's a thing. And then he said one word for you, Steph, and he said forever. And I was like, oh. I also love the fact that Stone Cold, when he was up there with Bret Hart, and he said, when I was a face, when I was a heel, when I was an anti-hero. And I said, okay, that's what we're calling it. I said, okay. So for those that watch my videos, like I have mentioned, okay, I said, what do we call the in-betweeners? And I had an old friend on there that I don't talk to, an old associate. people, I say, if you're not a face, or heel. And he said tweeners. And I was like, that sounds, thinking in my head, that sounds so stupid. And so I was calling them anti-heroes because I'm like, you're not really a heel no more because you don't get booed from the crowd. But you're not a face either because you're supposed to be a heel. So I'm like, I'm calling them anti-heroes. So when Stone Cold had said it, I said, okay, so he just gave me validation. That's what I'm calling you. Like, that's 1,000% what Seth and not Seth, that's my guy. He's not. Technically he's not in the wrong. That's exactly what Punk and Roman are. Okay? And it's a whole reel somewhere on YouTube where various people have said either Punk or Roman or both are cancers. Not like cancers in the business, but like they are the villains. They're the villains. I think Drew said it for both. KO has said it to Cody about Roman, and that's what started that beef. And people was booing KO, and I was like, that for that beef right there, KO is 1,000% justified. Like, we're not gonna act like for 2 years Cody wasn't chasing this man Roman down, and him and his family was beating you down. Like, so now because Solo is beating you up and Rome and they beating up Roman, y'all decide to team up. Y'all don't even like each other for real. Okay? And somebody else has said, I think Seth has said Punk. Seth has also said Roman. They in that triple threat. So I also watched the highlights for Raw, so I don't feel like I'm really missing anything. Gunther said he won't make the same mistake basically probably he made with Sammy. What's the name said he's gonna dog walk Gunther. Jay. He said Mama Oos is out there somewhere. You know, I think last year, was it last year? 2 years ago when they had WrestleMania in California, she was out there too. So I'm like, because they brought her out Wale Mania. So I said, do she just come to the WrestleManias because she know her boy's gonna be there? Because I know the whole family comes for like Hall of Fame, like Solo's wife, who I follow on Instagram. She was there, but I know she just had that baby. August, September. So the baby probably like, if it's an August baby, the baby's 8 months. If it's September baby, it's 7 months. So now let's like her parents or somebody watch the baby. She probably might not be there for Hall of Fame. I didn't even look to see if she was in the audience. I think she was in the audience. Like she'll be there. And of course Naomi's there. Jay's wife isn't there because she likes her privacy. Because even if she came to the Hall of Fame and they did a glimpse of her, people will be digging into detail, like who is she, this and that. Like, I know what she looks like. Of course, he has a video of like when his son turned a certain age on a pandemic, and his pictures out there from like family gatherings and stuff like that on other people's pages. But it's like people would say, be like, they be too nosy, and then it was mad rumors going on with him and some like other person and all the other stuff. So like, y'all be making stuff up. It's weird. Yeah, so like I saw Lyra and Bailey win their match, and how Liv got upset because Raquel tried to help her cheat to win, and then it backfired because Lyra did the same thing. Then Americano and Ray. Americano came out and attacked Ray LWO. He knocked them all out. This is my thing. And then Cole keeps saying it's Chad, and Pat is saying it's not him, it's Americano. I was like, he goes gracias. I said, but if you looked up when they showed it up close, I said the mask say American made. Okay, like why? Okay. So and then they showed Io, Bianca, and Rhea do their verbal attacks. How in the middle, I think AJ's match, was it AJ's match or was it after? Logan had came out. He had said something to him, and then Karrion tried to fight him, and then he was fighting both. And also, I'm trying to think. Oh, the whole situation with Seth and Roman. This is the thing, though. Roman told Seth, like, no, and then he mushed Paul. So I was like, because I'm like, now Roman really is on the island by himself. Like, you can't, like I mentioned before, you can't be Roman's wise man and then be best in the world's best friend, and then be ringside with CM Punk and talking about you gonna be neutral. That's not possible. Because at the end of the day, if it came down to them two, and say Seth was on the side, hurt, trying to get his life back together, get back in the ring, you gonna have to pick which one you gonna be loyal to in that moment. You can't do that. Like, how you gonna do both? So he mushed them down. Okay. I also saw Cold as Balls with Rhea Ripley and Kevin Hart. That was hilarious. You mushed him down, and after he pushes Seth out hits him, hit the post, whatever. Everyone comes out. Punk comes out. Then Seth grabs a chair. Looks phenomenal. Shout out to Troy. Troy sent me a tweet and said, because I saw Friday night what Seth had on. I said, the outfit. And then I said, the necklace. And before that, I said, I cannot wait for his entrance and to see what he has on. And he sent me a tweet this morning. And I said, Becky looked great too, by the way, because I know he styles her when at the Hall of Fame. He said, wait for a couple hours. And he did fingers crossed. The anticipation. Because y'all know, outside of like me giving a summary of the matches, I'm always here for the looks in production. I cannot wait. You hear me? Cannot wait. Okay, I'm gonna do another video after this, a prediction of who's gonna win each match. But like, I want to see Dom top himself. His entrance is gonna be a good one. Cause 2 years ago, remember he came in the cop car situation. Was he in WrestleMania last year? I don't think he was in WrestleMania last year. Was he? I think him. No, yeah, because I think him and Finn were tag team champions, and they took them apart, or they ununified them, and then they end up losing to like, awesome truth, but and also DIY. I think Awesome Truth and A-Town Down Under, I think, were the two people that got the championships last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. I'm trying to revive my life. Yeah, because I was like, Street Profits should have been in that match, and they ended up fighting Final Testament. The Pride versus the Final Testament. And I'm upset that they're not going to be in WrestleMania this year. You mean to tell me that they are tag champions? The past 2 WrestleManias, they did not have a title, and they was in WrestleMania both years. Okay, I don't care if it was a pre-show or regular show, but they not going to be in it this year. Like, what the hell? So when they had announced something about the ladder match on Smackdown, I know we got to save some stuff for Smackdown, but I'm like, why we can't have this on what you call it? I think even though the card has 14 matches, I think most of the matches don't even have titles. Okay. Then I looked on, I think I follow Lana on Twitter. I don't, but she pops up on my thing a lot. It's her and Rusev in the car in the front seat and 2 other guys in the back seat. Surprisingly though, it was rumors that they had divorced or splitting up or whatever, but that's not my business. So that would threw me off based off of, tweets that show up on the one timeline and not the other. So somebody was like, you better get your accent and stuff together. Da 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 da.
And so a lot of people's like, I'm not mad if Randy faces Rusev at WrestleMania. But then some people was pissed because they was like, you getting all these AEW people back that used to be in WWE, and they're getting main contract matches. Like, that's their guaranteed contract. Like, Ricky Starks is the North American champion. Ethan had a thing for the title with Trick. If Rusev is back and he's the one that faces Randy, like, his first match is WrestleMania. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Penta, him and Braun Bray, I think him and Braun doing that tag team, where that was the first time he lost. Oh, and then Braun came and demolished everybody. And Cole was like, Carlito, you better get out of the way before you end up like last time. I said, okay. Because that spear should have broke your back, okay? So, and then, but I'm excited to see Dom's, because I think he came in, and then I can't remember if it was WrestleMania or SummerSlam, when he came in that low rider with Liv, okay? No, it had to been at SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is when he turned on Rhea. So it was something like that. So I'm waiting. I want to see that, his match, and I want to see what Seth is wearing. Like, I'm here for everybody, all the gear, all the entrances. But the main gear for the men, Seth's. For the women is Bianca's, because she said she was done with her stuff early, and she's surprised she made a thing. And I think I had mentioned this, and I said, girl, that could be a bad omen, because I was like, normally you've been undefeated at WrestleMania, and normally you're still doing your costume the day of or the day before. I'm like, the fact that you finished early is a telling. That could be a bad thing, okay? And y'all know I'm a conspiracy theorist with Seth, and most of the time, every time except for one time, I say if he don't have white, green, or like a tan or gold in his gear, he is losing. The only time that he won, and I say that, is when he had on red pants with the black, but the red pants was kind of sparkly. But I'm like, every other time he has lost. Okay, so I don't know. I and then okay, and then what had me cracking up is they had the battle royale. R-Truth was eating Carlito's thing. Loved it. So somebody said, I follow, and he said that if he's a betting man, he got Carmelo winning the battle royal. Okay, he's over the wrestling club, and I didn't even think about it because I caught it. Like, I was in and out dozing, because y'all know I haven't had sleep, so I'm sitting here trying to pay attention, but I'm not really paying attention. But I caught that, and I caught the ending. I caught how El Grande Americano had caused, I think, Ray Phoenix to get out, because y'all know with those there's no disqualifications. Hold on, wait, my brain. The last four I know was Andrade, Carmelo, I think Ray Phoenix, and I forgot. Then it ended up being so Andrade and Carmelo was basically running back, and I said yes, okay. Game 8, because game 7 really ain't count because they got disqualified. It got interrupted. I said they have chemistry, because somebody was like, the year 2024 was their year with the matches, and they was like, they got great chemistry, and I was like, they are awesome wrestlers. Like last year when I told y'all my Money in the Bank, and I was like, if LA Knight don't win it because he's a fan, because I didn't even put Jey Uso in there. He was a fan favorite, even though him and Jay were fan favorite. Like, most people had him, Jay, or Carmelo winning. Like, I had LA, Carmelo, or Andrade winning. And then after he had such a great performance, I said, I told y'all. I tried to tell you. So they ran it back. And I forgot what happened, but
I was like, I don't care who wins, but I was like, I know. I said I want Carmelo to win because I said he's the only person that got drafted from NXT last year that has not held a championship. Lyra has one. Tiffany has one. Did Pretty Deadly get drafted last year? Or was it the year before? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. But I was like, everybody that has been drafted, it was a couple other people. If they were not let go, they have held a championship. And I was like, Carmelo the only one. So he won. I was ecstatic. What's the name I think say? If he won, I think I'm gonna start crying. I will say that. And then I told you about the tag matches, and I was like, why are we waiting for that? Tiffany and Charlotte is gonna be an interesting one. And I'm excited that Zelina ended up beating Chelsea, because to me, a lot of people said that they loved her and like she's one of their favorites. And I said, if it was me and she would have stayed on Raw, she'd have been the IC Woman Champion. And I said, if Chelsea had to lose it, my guess, because before the trade, it would have been Michin. But now since Zelina's over there, it could be Zelina or Michin. Me personally though, I like Michin. I like her a lot. I would pick Zelina only because her promo skills are better. To me personally. Like, they both have great promo skills, but Zelina's definitely in my top 5 for the women. I think she's my number 1, to be honest. Because I think it was Bianca, but when I heard Zelina give a couple promos, I said, okay. Like, why she ain't been getting the mic and talking? You know what I'm saying? So like her, B-Fab, Bianca, this main roster. Her, B-Fab, Bianca. I think I said Jade is coming up there, creeping up there. But who else? I want to say Candace. I think I had said Candace. And I think that's it. Cause I'm like, Charlotte's okay. Nia's most of the time is hits. Sometimes it's, but I was like, I think it's Jade, Naomi. No, not Naomi, sorry. Jade, Bianca, Zelina. B-Fab. Oh no, Chelsea's on there. I was like, I know I'm missing somebody, and I just say her name. So it's Zelina, it's Chelsea, it's Bianca, it's B-Fab, and I forgot who the 5th person is. I think I had moved Jade up there as like one of the best women currently that I like to do promos. But I more so like her segments in the back that she does, like when they stop an interview, like her and Bianca. She hasn't really done. I want to say maybe Liv. I think Liv, my girl. I think because she crazy. I think she's on there too. I think she's on the list. I think that rounds out the 5. But like, I can't wait. And remember when I said, so then they was trying to figure out where the people were booing Bianca. And I said a couple weeks ago, and I said, I don't think it's because they racist. I said they cheered for Naomi, they cheered for Street Profits. I was like, if it's a people of color thing, I was like, they cheered for the Samoans. I said they just booed her. And I said, I got a couple theories. I said, my first theory is because they booed her on Smackdown. My first theory is they want Io to keep the title, or they want or they wouldn't be mad if Rhea gets a title. They don't want Bianca to have it. That's my main guess. Second guess would be, because a lot of people still say this on Twitter, that she still has something to do with the Naomi situation with Naomi and Jade. Okay. Third guess would be that her people are tired of her winning stuff. They kind of feel like she's like the woman Roman Reigns. Like every year she goes to WrestleMania and wins and stuff like that. Like how they kind of did Roman back in the day. People are getting tired of that, I guess. Just like with the whole Charlotte situation. And the last one for me would be just people just follow the crowd. There's been like 4 people that booed. So the rest, some people caught on next to them. And then everybody start booing. Because I'm like, them the only 4 possible reasons that I can give. Because I don't like, she my girl. Heel, face, love her. For some reason, same with Sheamus. Yeah, then Cody. So remember when I was saying that Bianca, sorry y'all, this is a long video. Because I'm trying to do the highlights that I saw. And the Hall of Fame, which I didn't think. And the blogs and all that. So I'm just putting random WWE video here. So y'all remember when I said they probably boo her just because? And this is this point that John Cena was making that how the fans are finicky. Because he was like, they had booed Cody when he was talking. Didn't really cheer or say yay or nay when John started talking. Then it took for Cody at the end to tell him that your face is melting wax. You got a neck for nickel dimes or nickels for a neck. Your skin is paler than Sting at Starrcade 97. He was said something about his legs. He had said that you was naked in front of the whole TV. He was like, and you still can't wrestle. And I was like, ooh. Then the crowd cheered, and I was like, and that's when I said, the crowd just do whatever. The crowd be finicky. And I was like, it proved what John was talking about, his point. And then they start going at each other and stuff like that. But that match is gonna be crazy. Of course, Charlotte and Tiffany went at each other, and LA Knight and Braun Strowman versus Solo and Jacob. But WrestleMania tonight gonna be interesting. Oh God, okay, sorry, I'm on YouTube and I thought somebody had won something, but let me go make this other video.